Let's get a checkup on the news now with Issue Today and our Monday reporter, Angela Chung. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Sinyan.
Hope you had a good weekend.
I did.
Yeah, I was all caught up on the Olympic action, especially the women's volleyball team. What an epic game. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw the articles.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Very impressive.
Very impressive. And they had reruns all throughout the weekend. And now they're playing against Serbia. So I'm going to have to try to concentrate on our show instead of watching that. All right. Let's get started on our first issue today, news. Now, we are in the beginning of a new month. And August is a very important month, especially for the nation's vaccination program, isn't it?
Right. First of all, happy August, because
Happy
August will be a good turning point for the nation's vaccination campaign. First, vaccination of people in their late 50s is going to proceed in earnest, and vaccination will also begin for people aged less than 40. Those who are going to take KSAT test outside of school system, and those working in the international voyage industry. In addition, vaccine supplies, which have been sluggish for a while, will become smooth again as vaccines that were supposed to arrive in July and are scheduled to come in August are going to land in the country this month. The government aims to make sure 70% of the nation's entire population, or 36 million people, will have gotten their first shot by September in order to achieve herd immunity until November.
So like you say, a big month for the vaccination program means that a lot of vaccines will have to be available, right? Hopefully no hiccups.
Yes, to quantify vaccine supplies in detail, approximately 29 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines will be arriving in August, among which 10.46 million are going to be Moderna's vaccine. And in September, nearly 42 million doses are scheduled to arrive.
All right. And now let's explain in more detail the vaccination rollout plan for those in their 40s and also younger.
Yes, so in August and September, people aged between 18 and 49 will get their first vaccine shot. So 17.77 million people are going to in this group, and except for 2 million who are subject to the autonomous vaccination program for local authorities, you can choose either a medical center or vaccination center to get your first vaccine shot.
All right. So nearly 18 million people in this group, myself included. It's a big, big group, and that's why they've come out with some more detailed plans for the reservation system, haven't they?
Right. If you're in this group, you can make a reservation from August 9th to September 17th. To be more specific, from August 9th to August 18th, people in this age group can make a reservation during one day based on the ending number of your date of birth. The government decided to use this system in order to prevent system errors from occurring, as so many people could access the system at the same time. Mm-hmm. And from August 19th to 21st, for 3 days, people in other age group can make a reservation additionally. And from August 22nd to September 17th, people aged between 18 and 49 will be able to book or change their reservation. So those who missed out on their first chance to book can also reserve a spot during these weeks.
I understand some plans were also laid out for those taking the KSAT test outside of the school system.
Yes, in addition to the current senior 12th graders in high school, 100,000 people are going to take this test this year. So the latter group is going to get their first vaccine shot with Pfizer in designated medical facilities from August 10th to 14th. And their reservation already took place last week.
All right. Moving on to our next item. With the rain, the temperatures have gone down just a bit, but so have humidity levels. So it still feels really, really hot, I have to say. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're just coming off it seems like weeks of record-breaking heat. How are you doing with the heat? Do you cope well?
So I've been working at home and I literally have my AC on all day.
You're not the only one. I think a lot of people are like that too.
Yes.
So that means that I think AC sales are through the roof as well. It seems like whenever I turn on TV, every other home shopping channel is selling some sort of AC as well, right?
Right, and especially those window ones for the rooms, because many rooms might not have one.
Exactly.
So this year, the average temperature in Seoul is 32 degrees Celsius, which is the second highest since July 1994, the hottest summer in meteorological history. So Samsung Electronics reported the sales of AC increased 2.5-fold last month compared to the same month of last year. And Samsung even sold twice as many bespoke wind-free gallery, its top-tier premium A8 air conditioner valued at 2 million won. And LG Electronics also said the sales of LG Whisin increased greatly during the same period. They even worked overtime well beyond their full production capacity. Industry sources expect the sales of AC will increase further on heat waves and tropical nights.
Right, especially compared to last year. I think when we had that really long monsoon season, I don't actually quite remember turning on the AC nearly as much, if ever. But it seems like the record-breaking heat is being seen not only in Korea, but really around the world. So do we have global warming or climate change to blame for this?
So, not surprisingly, we have worldwide global warming and the third shortest monsoon season in central parts. And on top of it, we had less rainfall to cool down the heat. So, this week might be actually a good week. We should not forget the heat dome we talked about, where hot air covers certain areas, blocking heat from going out. So, for all these reasons, this year's summer is known to surpass July of 2008, which was called unprecedented heat wave back then and afterwards.
I think we were making lots of comparisons to the summer of 2018 as well, when it was really, really hot. The temperatures went up, but it didn't feel so hot because of maybe the relatively lower humidity levels. So when we talk about the heat index, do they take into account just the temperature on the number of the temperature, or is it humidity, or maybe a combination?
So it could be it's going to be a combination because this was probably because of low humidity. Compared to average past year, humidity went up to 80 to 90%, whereas this year, humidity remained at just 50 to 60% of the most of days, which is hard to believe because I've been in the States and this year I'm feeling like it's really, really humid here. But it's compared
to
the
previous years, it doesn't feel as humid.
Right. The wind chill temperature was also lower. But on the other hand, other people say the wind chill temperature is higher because of longer heat waves due to the shorter monsoon. So we can't ignore the fact that we have to wear a mask and we cannot go on vacation to somewhere it's cooler. So it's expected the sales of AC will surge further if we head into August, where Korean Peninsula's unique hot and humid climate comes again.
Yep, it's going to be hot and humid all throughout this week. It's going to be definitely raining this week as well. Let's move on to our last item, kind of related to our question of the day. Let me ask you it as well. Do you have a favorite chicken dish? It's so difficult to decide just one, but...
Right, I was thinking outside the city, KFC.
Fried chicken,
Yes.
right? Exactly.
It has to be fried.
I think it's up there in the top 3 for everyone. Right. We do love our chicken in many, many ways, of course. And especially chicken on the hottest days of the summer, right? I mean, 말복, the third hottest day, is coming up on August 10th. And of course, we usually have samgyetang or boiled ginseng chicken soup on these days. Did you have samgyetang too on 초복 and 중복?
I did. I did because of my mom made it. And even though fried chicken is my
your favorite.
I feel like, yes, the boiled one really helps with your I guess
health
immune,
and stamina and also to beat the heat as well, right? Well, unfortunately, it seems like because of its popularity or some other reasons as well, the price of samgyetang keeps going up as well. And if you try to make it yourself, it's also not that cheap because the price of chicken at supermarkets has also gone up.
Right, the price of chicken meat has gone up according to Korea Institute for Animal Products Equality Evaluation. The retail price of chicken meat is 5,991 won per kilogram as of July 30th, which is almost 6,000 won, and which was the highest price since January 28th of 2019. The price last month was far higher than back at the end of last year and early this year, when the high pathogenic aviation influenza was spreading.
Okay, what do we know is causing this spike in chicken prices?
So, in addition to the increasing demand for home cooked meals, a greater number of chickens actually died due to prolonged heat waves this year, which have driven up the prices of chicken meat. In these chicken farms, well over 189,000 chickens died last month, accounting for 65.1% of the entire number of livestock.
Yikes. I mean, we at least have AC. It must be much more difficult for livestock like chickens as well. So, of course, we have to pay these higher prices, but the chicken farms must have been devastated because of these deaths of their chicken. And so, really, no choice but to hike their prices.
Right. To help these chicken farms, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs will partner with local authorities and agricultural and livestock cooperatives to check whether cooling facilities are installed and operated and pay them disaster recovery costs and insurance payment after prompt investigation processes.
All right. Thank you very much for those updates, Angela. We'll see you next time.
See you.